thing I'd like to talk about, and maybe we can get questions with the panel and questions from the audience on this, is how we pay for mobile services. What we've seen in many countries where mobile data has grown very successfully is the introduction of unlimited data plans. Certainly the iPhone was introduced in the States with unlimited data plans. It was not in Canada, although there were some attractive packaging to some extent, for attractive prices to some extent, but we don't have that. When we asked Canadian users, Canadian mobile subscribers, how they like to pay for mobile data, more than half say that they would like to have unlimited data plan. Probably because they see all those AT&T ads and stuff like that, but certainly that's the response. Unlimited data plans is the way that people would prefer to pay by a significant margin over other approaches that are being used. And that may be an issue to continue the growth of those services in Canada.
From the network and software, we've already talked a little bit about the network congestion. One point I will make, it isn't purely a function of having, we believe it is not purely a function of spectrum and the latest HSPA. What is it now, 7.3 is what they're using? 7.3. Even if you move to that, there are challenges. There are all kinds of bottlenecks in backhaul, in provisioning. One of the challenges, of course, is that although our phone systems are relatively good at setting up and taking down phone calls in a relatively quick way, that's an entirely different world from somebody who is browsing in multiple tabs. Meanwhile, they're downloading apps. Obviously, you can't do this on the current generation iPhone, but very soon multitasking will be existing. So that idea of multitasking browsers across a wireless network that's essentially meant for, setting up and taking down single voice channels that persist numbers of seconds, not numbers of milliseconds, is not a challenge that the current network infrastructure is up to. And that's not purely an HSPA issue. There's a whole bunch of peripheral hardware and software that needs to go into creating a network that is built more for the mobile internet than the current one is.
According to a recent study, Canadians continue to lag behind citizens of other G8 countries. And in fact, in several developing countries, we lag behind in the deployment of wireless technology. There's always been the belief, and believe me, I've used it many times when I presented in Korea, that Canada globally has one of the best wireline infrastructures that you can find. It's very affordable, and it's very efficient, and it's very available. I tend to prescribe to that philosophy and believe, up until recently, with the advent of more robust devices, really what we had were what I refer to as send-and-end phones. All they provided to me as a consumer was portability, for me to allow to make a phone call away from a landline device, of which we have great penetration in this country. So there was no significant driver to evolving that.